It's been almost 24 hours since I first wet felted this bowl on the balloon. And as I predicted yesterday, I have some pieces that are kind of clumpy that didn't felt very well. I have two options right now. I can wet felt this again just by adding some hot soapy water and giving it some agitation, bounce it around a little bit, or I can needle felt it. So I'm going to needle felt it. This will easily come off. And as you can see, it's not very stable. I'll show you how to make it very stable in just a little bit. So to needle felt it, I want to make sure that I don't, if I needle felt like this, it will stick together. So I can come from the inside. I could turn this right inside out. Isn't that pretty? And start needle felting from the inside by just felting it into my block. This is a yoga block. You can get a felting block if you like. This is fine. A stable, really nice thick sponge would do as well. Not a flimsy sponge. These needles are very sensitive. So when you needle felt, you go in and out, in and out. You don't go in and then say turn it and come out. You will break your needle. This is one of my favorite needles, and it is, I've been using this one for years and it's starting to bend. I'll be putting together some kits, and in the kit I'm going to put 2 needles in just in case one breaks. So the barbs on this needle, there's little barbs on the needle, and there's little hairs off of every hair in here that tangles it together. So I'm helping it along. This is very therapeutic. It's a lot of fun. And then I pull it off, and then of course it's going to be a little fuzzy on that side. And what we'll do for that is just felt it on the other side. Another option I can do here as well is needle felt and then wet felt again. I haven't made that decision. I'm leaning towards that though. By needle felting the big chunks, the thicker parts, and then wet felting on top of that gives it some added structure. Here, see here it's lifting up a little bit. I like that there is a bit of a see-through, bit of a window there. What I can do to lessen that window is add some more roving. So this is the remainder of the 1/2 ounce roving that I started with. So let's just add a tiny bit. I actually quite like the combination of needle felting and wet felting together. That's very pretty. There is a bit. I could leave that out. I can even wet felt it and twist it around so it gives it a really nice little design element. Or I can, see there's a hole there. I can put it over the hole. And felt it some more. I'm making this tutorial during the COVID-19 self-isolating time. It's the end of May. So I really am promoting ordering your supplies online rather than going to a store yourself. That's just me. You can order needles and felt from several stores online. Michael's has some. Because felting is gaining popularity, the mainstream stores are starting to carry felting supplies, which is great. But again, this is COVID, so I'm not promoting going out shopping here. It's a bit there. I can go inside or outside. I'm going to go this way this time. See how pretty this is? That it's actually felt. You've created a fabric. I think anywhere online, I believe these are about $1. I buy mine in bulk. There's some see-through bits there. I'm going to leave those for now because, see, it's starting to get a little bit more structure. Now, this is a bowl. I have made vessels before where they come in a little bit, and I can actually do that now if I wanted to. If I wanted to make it more of a small opening vessel, I could felt these together, this together. And do a little bit more. There are also felting, I don't have one right in arm's reach, but there you can get these felting needles that have 3 or 5, so it makes things go quicker. I'm not in a hurry, so I don't mind doing one. And I think if you're a beginner, don't spend a ton of money. So just buying like something like this for $1 is fine. But again, they break a lot, so I'm just going in and out and in and out, and that's creating these little tangles in the fleece. You will poke your fingers, I promise. So things are getting a little bit more felted here, which is good. And then you would just keep going on and on until you get the structure you like. And again, you can wet felt it one more time, which I think I might do. And then there's a trick that I like to do with things that aren't going to be worn, and I will show you that in just a little bit. So before I go on, I wanted to talk about supplies that you might have at home. So yesterday I showed you that I use this big boot tray. I like this boot tray very much. If you don't have a boot tray and you have one of those, you know, great big Rubbermaid or similar bins, you can use that, and it's got a little bit of a lip. And with this little bit of a lip, when you're wet felting but you're not using a ton of water, this will be fine, because you don't want to have a lot of water around. Okay, so there we go. The next step is I am going to wet felt a little bit more. I might go around and add just a little bit more fleece to some areas that have holes. And then I will wet felt it and then show you my little trick that I do with items, felted items that I want sturdy and I'm not going to wear.